Hi guys, Fire Dragon here, and today I wanted to draw a dragon, kind of show you a little bit of how I draw them. I am going to say now that doing the voiceover and looking at this video, the eye part and the rest of the top of the head are out of frame until at least about the last couple seconds of the video. But if you guys want me to, I will be able to do another video showing you how I do the scales, so I really want to go a little bit more into depth talking about that, because I know some people would have a hard time with scales for dragons and stuff like that, and I have a simple way of doing that. You guys will see part of that, but I didn't finish it completely because I did want to leave it off as like a video that I could do more depth and detail. I will probably do that for most of my videos when I am drawing one kind of creature or person that needs a little bit more detail put into the work. So I just kind of basically start off with a very simple head shape. Now if you want to do this with the shapes technique using circles, triangles, or even squares, go ahead, be my guest. That is a way you can do art stuff. I don't do it, but by all means, if it helps you, go ahead and do it. And dragons, you can kind of start with like a circle, and then do like a kind of rectangle shape, and then do like a little bit of a triangular shape for the nose. So yeah, that's how you would start off the head for that. Also, I like to tend to start with the top of the head and then move to the bottom with, doing the teeth and all that after I've done the mouth line, so that I have a very distinct positioning of where I want everything to be in juxtaposition to itself. And yeah, everything kind of has like a game plan. Start with the basic outline of the head, go to the eyes, the teeth, the nose. Usually it's the head, the nose, the mouth, and all that, and then the eye is usually the last. And doing a dragon's eye is pretty simple, but I can go into more detail over that. You just kind of want to draw a oval shape that kind of points at both ends, and then draw a circle inside, draw a diamond shape for the eye, and then you want to kind of color that in detail-wise to how a dragon's eye would look. I used to shade dragons, just like the regular colored pencil method. That didn't really work well for me. So I decided to find a different method, and in doing so, I came across references of statues, and looking at the statues, it really helped me to figure out how to position scales, how to make scales to look realistic, all that kind of stuff. I can't emphasize, using references enough. I think they're very, very important when you are an artist. If you do not use references, I don't know who you are other than like a mad genius at being able to create art from your fingertips, from your brain, without anything to look at, because the struggle is real for me when I do stuff, especially stuff like dragons and stuff. I can do them really good now, just like off the cuff, but there was a time when even I was struggling with them and would look up references. Spyro the Dragon was something that was really a thing that I became inspired by, because when I was a kid, being the silly kid I was obsessed with Spyro the Dragon. It was one of the first games I had initially come across, because we had a friend of my grandfather who had kids of his own, and they owned like a PlayStation 1, let us borrow it. Pretty cool. We had like Lara Croft Tomb Raider on there to borrow for a little bit, and a Spyro the Dragon game. That's where my love of Spyro the Dragon kind of took off. And then, growing up, I had a Game Boy, and having my Game Boy Advance, we had a Spyro game, and I was like really determined to finish it. I don't think I really ever did, and I haven't been able to find it since, because I've lost it. But, for the time being, it was really good, and that's really what kind of got me started into wanting to draw dragons and more mythological creatures. I really want to start learning how to draw griffins, so hopefully I'll have that in my next video. And you know, to me, griffins are like really cool creatures as well. But again, I love fantasy, I love all that kind of stuff, so yeah. But dragons, pretty simple to draw once you get the hang of them. I kind of draw mine a little bit more like dinosaurs, just fine. You know, you can do that too, because they do kind of look dinosaur-esque. I usually draw mine with 4 legs. I know not everybody's like fond of that. I want to be able to get, again, like I said in one of my previous videos, more into drawing them like wyverns. So, because like I think it kind of looks weird with their 4 legs, but that's okay. Yeah, I mean, their neck is kind of easy too. It just kind of curves down like a horse. Also, I used to draw horses a lot, and I still do, and that kind of has helped me, you know, over the years, especially when drawing dragons, because, like, you know, you gotta make sure you make the body look right, and the legs look right, and all that, and really taking inspiration not only from one creature, but multiple different creatures is also another good way to learn how to draw certain types of things for like bodies. Like if you wanted to learn how to draw dragons' talons, you know, look at birds. Birds, their feet are great, and you know, they're very similar to how a dragon's feet would close. They've got like the first, you know, 3, and then they have like the last 4th kind of claw to make like that talon shape. You know, when they close their hand. That's also a good thing. You know, again, everybody like seems to criticize people for using references nowadays, or at least when I was growing up, like I used to have people be like, oh, like references are bad, or, you know, not all the time, but, you know, certain people would be like, oh, references are bad and you shouldn't use them. But for me, references are great. I think you should totally use them. I really don't appreciate when people do bash that and say, oh, you're not a true artist if you can't, you know, draw from your memory, me. And I'm like, you totally can. Like, you can learn how to draw from memory by learning how to, you know, do certain things. And for the scales for the dragon, as you guys can see, I kind of go with like more oval shapes, or, you know, for the smaller ones I go with more circular shapes. I just like to be able to do that because instead of shading it like I normally would, this takes a lot longer, but it is more detailed. And you know, for me, drawing the dragon scales more detailed like this just offers so much more detail and depth to your picture, to your drawing. It's fantastic. Again, I saw a statue whose scales were like this for a dragon statue. I just typed in dragon statues on the internet, and like a bunch of like different, you know, dragon images popped up. And yeah, you know, I saw the scales and I was like, ooh, that would be cool. I gotta do it. I gotta make it look beautiful. And I tried it, and ever since then I've really been in love with that technique. It takes me a good hour or 2 hours to get all the scales done, but, you know, depending on how I'm feeling, or it might take a few days, because it is tiring to do the tiny circles over and over and over again. But to me it's worth it. If you get more of that dimension you want in your drawing, it's just great overall. But yeah, that's just me. I'm very much a stickler for perfectionism and making things look just so. But you don't have to be if you don't want to. If you need to take things slow or do things on a separate piece of paper for trying out a new technique, go ahead. That's actually the best way to learn. You know, to be able to learn is to be able to try new things. Again, that's why I made the video of doodling. Doodling is important. It is a way for you as an artist to be able to experiment, but also be able to get better as an artist, because when you doodle, there's no time limit. You don't feel pressured. You don't feel like you need to get a big project done within like a certain amount of time. I don't like working under pressure that much. Though when I was in art school, like, by art school I mean art in high school or college, when we had certain classes, I tended to wait last minute and would regret it, because my artwork would never come out as good as I wanted it to. Granted, I can basically take a drawing and be, boom, pop it out within like, you know, less than 3 days, but it's a lot of time consuming effort when you do it that way. And not only that, you're stressed, you put pressure on yourself, and you rushed yourself rather than taking your time doing your work like you should have as an artist. And I can't stress enough of being able to set proper time limits for yourself as well. You know, I have to get better at this, and I think all artists should get better at that. But yeah, you know, it is what it is. You learn, you just go on with life. It's just how you're supposed to be as an artist. Constantly learning, constantly wanting to create new things, constantly wanting to check out different art styles. I think that's a grand way of being able to make yourself, you know, the artist that you want to be. And anyways guys, I'm gonna leave this video here, so bye!